Hey everyone, it's Argonath here from The Right Way. Got a really nice article written by Karl Fresne. Again, if you like my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell. So if you don't know who Karl Fresne is, he's got a little About Me section. Um, he's written books about press freedom and so on. You can read this here if you go to his blog. He was in journalism for more than 50 years. Pretty amazing. And I think he said somewhere he used to be an editor. Where was it? In a past life, I edited a daily newspaper called The Dominion, and a lot of people probably remember that. So he's a journalist, he's been an editor, he's been around for over 50 years in the journalism game. Basically, he was removed out of mainstream media because he's not left-wing. So basically they got rid of him. He does have a blog and he's written some really good articles, so I do recommend you look him up. So Karl Fresne, just Google him, you'll find his blog. Some really good articles on here. So let's have a look at his latest post, which is the striking outpouring of media empathy for Golriz Ghahraman, because we know about our left-wing biased mainstream media and how they pretty much have a unique kind of sense of vision about how these things are portrayed, and it seems so in tune with each other that it doesn't even seem that it could be random, but who knows. Let's have a look at this. It's really good. Really has the media's all-pervasive pro-left bias been demonstrated more emphatically than the outpouring of empathy for Golriz Ghahraman? And you will have seen that if you've been through any mainstream media articles. It's nothing about the theft that's occurred or the victims. It's all about her and her mental struggles and the stress she's been under and so on. In the past 24 hours, the tone of media commentary and the scandal surrounding the former Green MP has shifted with striking uniformity. The focus has conveniently been diverted from the wrongness of her actions. There's barely a mention of that. Exactly. They never talk about this is wrong. Don't shoplift. Don't thieve. No. To the supposedly cruel nature of a political culture that we are told placed her under acute stress. Ghahraman says she cited her mental health problems not as an excuse, but as an explanation. In fact, she doesn't need to use stress as an excuse because her legion of media sympathisers have obligingly done it for her. Exactly. The Greens have copped flack for not front-footing the issue of Ghahraman's shop thieving. I want to use the word shoplifting because it's theft, but in reality the controversy has been something of a PR triumph, thanks to the media's eagerness to justify her conduct. Who needs spin doctors when the commentators are already on board? Brilliant, Karl, absolutely brilliant. The excuse makers, the apologists, the hand-wringers are out in force. Ghahraman's conduct has been explained as the most inevitable consequence of an oppressive racist system that's dominated by white males and seeks to destroy capable but vulnerable women. That's exactly how it's being portrayed. I couldn't have said that any better than what you've said there, Karl. That is absolutely correct. What a brilliant paragraph. For example, check out Madeline Chapman's column at the Spin-Off. Headline: The dramatic exodus of brown women from Parliament is no surprise because they're fucking thieves and useless people. The implications that Kerry Allen and Elizabeth Kerry were victims of the same syndrome, although the article makes no attempt to substantiate that claim, and it probably doesn't even go into what they actually did. Oh my god. But yep, the Spin-Off is so left-wing that it's right out there. It's like out of this world. I'll wager though that if an opinion poll was taken today, it would find that women are just as offended as men by Ghahraman's behaviour and by the media's eagerness to absolve her of blame. Certainly she won't get much sympathy from a struggling working mother on the minimum wage who wonders how she's going to pay the supermarket bill but never thinks of resorting to dishonesty or thieving. That's absolutely correct, right? No one in the mainstream media mentions this. Is that everyone, most people in New Zealand are under stress of some sort or another. If you've got a mortgage, you've got a massive stress about paying that mortgage or just paying the rent off every week. Guys are working 50, 60 hours on construction sites or whatever, just trying to get that overtime and get that extra pay to pay for their bills and things, with everything going up and up after the last 6 years of the Labour and Greens government just destroyed New Zealand. They don't go around thieving things all the time. For what it's worth, my own inclination, initially at least, was to feel some sympathy for Ghahraman. That feeling is now almost completely evaporated. I'd have no sympathy for her at the beginning. So good on you, Karl. I've concluded she doesn't need my sympathy when she has virtually the entire media in her corner. Brilliant. Exactly correct. You have to look very hard in the welter of comment to find any mention of the irony that a woman whose parliamentary salary puts her in the top 1% of income earners resorted to theft. And not theft of everyday things. Exactly. It was not like she was stealing food or water for herself to maybe feed herself because she can't afford food. She's stealing luxury high-end items. And not the theft of everyday essentials, but of high-end fashion items marketed to the elite. It all looks decidedly at odds with the political creed of an MP who has positioned herself as a champion. This is the thing with all these Green MPs and so on, these left-wing people who champion the poor. When they're not poor, they have no idea what poor people are about. Right? I mean, even when Ghahraman came to New Zealand, they bought tickets on airplanes to come over. They weren't poor. It didn't help that when the scandal broke, Ghahraman was on holiday overseas, exactly where we haven't been told. What has emerged is a picture of privilege and entitlement that sits very awkwardly with Green Party ideology. She's absolutely entitled type of person. Nowhere in all the commentary have I seen a reference to the fact that countless thousands of New Zealanders deal with mental stress without feeling tempted to steal. As David Farrar put it, trying to excuse what happened as being due to stress from the job is insulting to all the people who are very stressed but don't thieve. Nowhere is there any mention that thieving is a massive drain on the economy. Research in 2007 put the cost at $1.2 billion a year. You can bet it's a lot higher now, because a lot of these thieves have worked out that they can just steal from a shop, go, and there's nothing that the shop can do. Even if they have security guards, the security guards have no power. They can't do anything. They're just there for show. And so basically, the thieves steal, and what do the shops have to do? They either put the prices up or they close. In Hamilton, there was a supermarket, a countdown in, where was it? In Norton, closed down. That had a history of lots of thieving from people from that particular supermarket, and it closed down. But of course, the supermarket chain and the media were very reticent to give the reason for them closing down, which was probably, and I would really feel it's true, it was down to shoplifting, thieving, right? So do people really want to pay extra money just for thieves? Nowhere does any commentator consider that the danger that if Ghahraman is allowed to use mental health as an excuse for theft, anyone else feeling under stress will now consider themselves entitled to steal. Exactly right. Oh, I'm feeling a bit stressed out. I'm just going to go and steal something, make me feel better. You know, Golriz Ghahraman did it. All the mainstream media are saying that it's okay to steal if you have stress. Have a bad morning, go and pinch something. If a high-profile politician can use stress as an excuse, then so can you. That is exactly what people will see. You know, so she has to have the book thrown to her to set an example that politicians and elite people are not above the rest of us plebs in New Zealand that are just trying to eke out a living. Right? Guess I'm kind of middle class. I'm lucky in that my house is now freehold, but I still have a family. I still have kids. Still got to pay all the rates and stuff. So I'm better off than a lot of people, but I'm still not a millionaire by any stretch of the imagination. So anyway, I really like this article from Karl de Fresne. It hit the head with how the mainstream media are orchestrating it, because Golriz Ghahraman is one of their darlings. She ticks all the boxes that they like, and they're trying to do everything they can to protect her and to make it as easy as possible on her. I do wish that one day a conservative media outlet would turn up, but to do that you need funding, and most of the people who have money that can fund things tend to be left-wing as well, which is a real shame. Anyway, subscribe to Karl de Fresne as well, or check out his blog because it's really good. He's got some really awesome articles there. And again, as I said, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like my content, please subscribe because it'll help with the YouTube algorithm, and hit the notification bell to be notified of new videos. Anyway, that's it from me. I'm sure there'll be more stories coming up, and so hopefully I have some people that will watch those as well. Anyway, catch you next time. Bye.